And I am here to, as part of a broad united front. It doesn't look that broad in gender terms, but I want to give you the assurance that it's a broad front. We have from government, my colleague the Minister for Social Development, in the audience is one of the Deputy DGs of that department, Mr. Salman Jahoma. We have the Acting DG of the Department of Labour, Mr. Les Kettledas. We have also from the Treasury one of our DDGs, Ismail Momonia, is probably running around somewhere. But more importantly, we have representatives of the 3 trade union federations. From COSATU, we have the Deputy GS, Mr. Bekin Chalinchari, and Mr. Jan Mahlangu. From FEDUSA, we have the General Secretary, Mr. Dennis George, and Mr. Martin Daisel, and then from NACTU, we have the General Secretary, Mr. Manene Samer. It's a very important issue. I mean, I want to start there because frequently, we are in disagreement with each other. It's not frequently that we convene in order to present a shared concern. The concern that we bring is that our attention has been drawn to the fact that a number of workers appear to be encouraged to cash in their provident funds. We've looked at this, each in our own constituencies, we've looked at it together. This concern has been around for some time now. On the 19th of May this year, Minister Skweyiya issued a statement on the matter, but since then I think that there's been much closer collaboration between the 3 federations and ourselves in government, and we want to express a joint concern about the trend that we're observing. Now, I think that members of the press would be aware of the fact that since the budget in February 2007, where we made an announcement that there would be very substantial social security reform, including a mandatory retirement fund in South Africa, work has started, is being done in earnest, and we indicated that there would be updates from time to time. I think that the principle of a mandatory retirement fund is one that we all agree on. We agree on it because for us it's fundamental to ensure that we share that commitment to improving the quality of life of everybody, especially working people in this country, and that is a commitment that continues even through the deferred incomes of workers that would be funded through their pension and provident fund so that workers can retire in dignity. As those changes are being implemented, it's been very clear to us that there are some unscrupulous individuals and service providers who go around and have told all kinds of untruths to working people. That this government is about to nationalize your pension fund. We will take away your pension fund, we will ignore the fact that the savings belong to you, and all that you would be entitled to is the same as a beneficiary of just the normal social old age pension. And this has created enormous difficulties. Workers have responded with fear, and the one fear, and it's more evident in those industries where there are provident funds, the one fear, expression of that fear is that workers are cashing out. Even in some instances, we know workers are prepared to resign their jobs in order to retain their savings. We share the commitment that the savings of workers must be entrenched. We see it as deferred income, and it would be reckless, irresponsible, and in fact unconstitutional to suggest that any part of what you see before you would agree to the confiscation of the savings of working people. We will work through the modalities of how you will transit from the present fund into a mandatory fund. But we know that there are some of these individuals and service providers who have made loads of money by the present system, and they might see that the future would be more certain for workers, and making money of the intermediation for them appears less certain. And so amongst those are the people who've gone around from ear to ear, and we face this calamity. It's a calamity that will certainly impact on the lives of workers as they prepare for retirement. It's a calamity also because we are a country with low savings, and if people seek to remove their own savings from the pool, then the country would have a considerably weakened future. The entirety of the reforms, including the legislation to come, would support an environment where people contribute to their own retirement, to their own dignity, if you wish. And that is the big issue. We share a commitment between ourselves, the trade unions and all parts of government, that we will together undertake roadshows to ensure that every factory floor is visited, to ensure that shop stewards are mobilized, to ensure that our social partners in NEDLAC are mobilized, and that we will try by all means to prevent the confiscation of pension funds and provident funds by unscrupulous individuals mobilizing workers against the interests of those workers. That's our message today, but I'd like to ask perhaps if Minister Skweyiya doesn't mind, we'll ask the 3 trade union federations to say something and allow him to make a statement and then hand over for questions. Thanks. Can we get a microphone? Thanks, Madam.
It's Martin Duisel from Fidusa. I think there's been mischievous reporting on a number of these issues. What has happened is that pieces of this supposed legislation has been taken out of context completely, missing the point that we as a federation will not do anything that would be detrimental to our members or the workers. We must support any initiative which is going to uplift the workers and create money for them in their retirement. One must look at these proposals holistically, not individually. There are a number of issues which are in this basket, which all are going to come together to uplift everybody's standard of living in this country. And I would plead with you to give the negotiators a chance to get to the nitty-gritty of these issues and understand one thing, that as a federation we will do nothing that would be detrimental to the workers. Thank you.
Look, I want to say social protection. It's a key fundamental area for Fidusa and for the workers in this country that we need to secure. You know, there's people in the informal sector, there's people falling outside working for small businesses that doesn't have and share those kind of opportunities to say, we have an opportunity to mobilize our communities and our nation to even save more, because South Africa is a country that will, as a developing country, that will require much more investment so that we can invest that money to build our country up, to build our nation up, and to look at all the social challenges that we have. I think it's up to you, colleagues from the media. I know none of you that sit in this room have been doing those things, you know. But I know there's people out there, you know, that do these things for their own agenda and for their own short-sighted reasons. But we call on you to act responsible and to also report responsibly. Thank you.